Here in Los Angeles, politicians from all over the country have gathered to share ideas on how to combat climate change. It was more than just an otherworldly catch by Trout. It was a play that had supposedly objective members of the media walking around the press box with their hands on their heads. It was a media madhouse here Wednesday morning at USC's campus as Pat Hayden met with the media to discuss the firing of Steve Sarkisian. Perhaps most shocking of all the information given was that Hayden hasn't even spoken with Sarkisian since Sunday morning. Going into the bottom of the ninth inning, Angels fans were still hopeful even though they were down a run, and that's because center fielder Mike Trout was leading off the inning. A ground ball was hit down to Taylor Featherston at second base, and the crowd roared, knowing that was the final out. Or so they thought, until Featherston reached for the ball. But 16 years later, Hayden has moved to the beach game and is back in the hunt for another Olympic berth. It has inquisitive minds all over asking, how in the world is he doing this? The Senate approved 4 pro-gun House bills. If passed, they will allow you to take guns into low-security government buildings and freely discharge weapons on private property. Norte Vista running back Freddie Hawley says there's one reason above all others that he chose to join Arizona State's football team next season, and that's the family-like atmosphere that he felt around the Sun Devils.
Anyone can recognize why an athlete tries to make it to the Olympics, but few can understand the price that must be paid to get there. Courtney Mathewson knows. The 29-year-old water polo player won gold with the United States team in London during the 2012 games. But was that moment worth the effort it would take to get there again? At 29, Mathewson is the oldest member of the U.S. women's senior national team, and her body is starting to feel the effects of years and years of strenuous work.
The hardest part of my routine is repeating it day after day. You start the week fresh on Monday, you get into good workouts and a lifting session, and you're physically and emotionally exhausted and drained of your energy, and it's only Monday. Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays we lift in the morning from 7 to basically 9 a.m. We run through a 2-hour weight session with our coach, and then we hop in the water and usually do some conditioning for about an hour, hour and a half. We get out around 10:30 and we have a little bit of a break.
Go ahead and let Lorenzo have an opening remark.
Well, good morning. Obviously, like everyone here, we're looking forward to this season. We have
And then the afternoon practice is from 1:30 to 4:30, and that is mostly all water polo. So we do drills, passing, shooting.
For Mathewson, the work ethic was honed while winning 4 consecutive national championships at UCLA.
The time that I had at UCLA from 2004 to 2008 were some of the greatest years of my life. I was thrust into it in the very beginning. This is a standard, this is expectations. We train this hard. This is what we want to accomplish every single season.
7 years later, Mathewson is now one of the unquestioned leaders for Team USA.
Courtney leads by example. She might not be the most vocal, but you know, every day in and out of the water, she's giving 100%. So Courtney definitely leads by example and giving hard work every day.
But all the success in the pool comes with a price.
I've had a few injuries. I have had 2 shoulder surgeries, 2 torn ligaments in my finger. That lasted a year and actually just hurt my back. So I think with my age and playing for so long and it's just so physically demanding on your body, it just kind of one thing after the other.
I think we should all be prepared for the beginning of the season. Feeling a little different, feeling a little awkward as people adjust. There might be a lot more whistles blown.
But despite the physical demands of the sport, Mathewson keeps coming back, continuing to push herself each and every day.
But it's also a challenge. It's, can I get through this? Can I get better? Can I make my teammates better? And I think that's where the excitement lies.
And despite the day-to-day focus it takes, Mathewson has an end goal in mind, being one of the select few to make a once-in-a-lifetime feeling happen twice.
For me, I try and keep the end goal in mind. The thought of possibly competing at the Olympics again you can't find another feeling that's going to match that. When we stood there on the podium, we were all holding hands in our matching Nike uniforms, and they announced us as Olympic champions, United States of America. We were all sobbing. Like everything that you'd ever put in from day one to the sport, inside and out of the water, paid off, and it was all totally worth it.
Mathewson is planning on hanging her swim cap up after 2016. This almost surely is her last shot at the podium, and she knows that each day of practice means she's one day closer to the career finish she's aiming for. For Cronkite Sports in Los Angeles, I'm Nick Smith. Picture the type of student that comes to your mind when you see the Crimson of Harvard. You may think of a genius whiz kid, a patrician Easterner, or a budding master of the universe. But a star football player? Meet Orange Lutheran senior quarterback L.J. Northington.
Honestly, if you would ask me this when I was a freshman, I would think you're crazy.
L.J. is a 2-year starter for the Lancers of Orange County. Although his stats on the field are impressive, the ones in the classroom are even more so. To truly understand L.J.'s college decision, you have to go back to when a different Northington was starring on the football field. His father, LaVance.
He played at Oregon State and was a pretty good DB there. I think at one point he was like he was a second-ranked corner in the country.
LaVance was a standout defensive back in both high school and college. He is well known in Oregon State lore for coming up with a blocked punt to seal the Beavers' huge upset of Washington during the 1985 season. But a serious knee injury brought a premature ending to LaVance's football journey. Today, it is LJ who is the star recruit. He's the kind of quarterback that can beat you in the air or on the ground.
Very athletic. It's kind of the wave of the future with the multi-dimensional quarterback. Can run, can throw.
I mean, his arm's incredible. His running capability is awesome. His moves, he jukes people on the field every single day and just makes them look horrible. Definitely an asset to have on this team.
When it came to deciding on the right college, LJ and his family were looking for a school that could help him on and off the field.
I was looking with my family for a school that developed good college quarterbacks, and Harvard obviously has a history of doing that, and also that gave me great academics, which is you're not going to find anything better than Harvard.
And although LaVance's injury cut short his own career decades earlier, it now provides perspective for his son, illustrating that a college choice should be about more than football.
I remember him always telling me you're only a player away from being just an average Joe, just a regular guy. So you got to always have something to fall back on when football's done, because it's not going to last forever.
The word he used to me when we talked about him committing to Harvard was, I'm making a 40-year decision, not a 4-year decision.
LJ is grateful for a dad who helped him make his college choice. And it may not be their last collaboration together.
I want to hopefully work on Wall Street in finance, and then maybe start up a business with my dad.
Whether his first professional job is in football or on Wall Street, LJ is sure the next chapter in his life will prepare him well for either path. For Fox Sports West, I'm Nick Smith with the Cronkite Sports Bureau in Los Angeles.